I've watched my fair share of scary movies. Good ones, bad ones, good bad ones. And they usually teach us the same messages, that every creepy basement is haunted and everything older than your grandmother at a flea market is cursed. If this is presented as so matter of fact from Hollywood to our relatives, then why do so many people label you as superstitious when you even talk about them? So I got thinking, why haven't I seen a ghost? I haven't seen Bigfoot in the woods, or a shadow figure standing at the end of a hallway. And I've been in hundreds, if not thousands of hallways in my life. So I'd like to know, can a group of amateur ghost hunters find evidence beyond a doubt of the paranormal? So I haven't had any major experiences with ghosts myself. I will admit I am not that sensitive or anything to the spiritual world. I had one small experience, but so we used to have an old rocking chair, which seems cliche, but in our house. And I remember back when I was 10 or something, we had a computer, and then I pulled up the computer and I'm just, I don't know, on MSN chat or something. And I went to go move the chair back, and the rocking chair was like pushed up against the back of my computer chair, which is crazy because I'm trying to rationalize it. Like, how did that get there? No one came in. I'm home alone. And I would never have been able to get into the computer chair and pull it up to the desk with that behind me. So I'm like, something moved it.
Yeah.
That's my only explanation that I can really get.
Interesting.
But,
yeah. They can manipulate lights quite easily. When my first experience with a spirit was, like I said, my mom died in 2002 and her husband, my stepfather, died in 2009. He left a will asking me to go and take care of everything and clean out the house. And the will was only for me, and he excluded my two sisters. And I'd gone to visit Bob 2 weeks before he passed away. And, we talked about it. And he was angry with my one sister. And I said, you got to let that go. That was like 7 years ago, something happened. And I said, you got to let that go. You can't carry that with you. Nope. I don't want her in my house. And he was like so adamant about her not coming. So 2 weeks later, he passes away. We get the call my sisters. We all go down there because we're all going to clean out. It's my mom's stuff. We're going to divvy it all out and everything. We go down there. He was not happy. He was a firefighter. He was a chief of the fire department, but he was an electrician on his days off, and he messed with that power of the house. When my sister came, he'd turn the power off. Then we'd look out and the lights were on her vehicle, and we'd go out and they're not on, like you can't turn them off. And then her battery would go dead. We'd have to unplug the battery. We were recharging the battery. And this went on and on every time she was there. And as soon as she left, there was no problem with her vehicle. But as long as she was there, and he would do that, he'd mess with the lights. He'd turn the lights off to the house. And, my sisters would leave Sunday night and they'd go home and I'd be there. All the lights come back on. Everything's fine. He just, I don't know, he was just always messing around. He had this old truck that, it was very old, but he loved this truck and he put so much money into this old thing. And he went, I think he was lonely, and he went to see this mechanic, Daryl. And Daryl got a lot of his money. He would fix it up and put all these things on it. And Daryl did all this. So after Bob passed away, I said to Daryl, do you want to buy the truck? And he's like, nope. And I'm like, you know how much that truck is worth because you put all those parts on there. And I said, I think you should buy it. So he goes, okay, I'll come over and look at it. So the truck had been sitting for a couple weeks up behind the house, and we hadn't gone up there at all. Daryl comes over. We go walking up the driveway to the truck. The door to the truck opens. And it was like he wanted Daryl to have this truck. So I felt really good about Daryl buying the truck. So yeah, Bob messed around. He did quite a few things. He'd move things, and basically the lights, though. He used to always turn the lights off. And, it only happened when my sisters were there. And if they were gone, everything was just peaceful and fine. Yeah, so that was my first experience. And yeah, and then when I saw my mom there, well, I'm pretty sure it was my mom. It looked like what she would have looked like at about 18 or 20. Um, yeah, that was the first time that I had one recently. My girlfriend died May 5th, 2020.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
And yeah, right during COVID, it was horrible. It was quite sudden. And it was in July, and I was sitting in my living room, and I got my lights on timer. So their timer goes off. I forget what time. Anyways, I'm in the living room. The lights go off in the hallway. And I'm sitting there, and I was thinking about my friend Rose. And all of a sudden, I see this streak of light in my hallway. It was about 3 feet wide. It was like this big streak up high. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. And I told my friend of mine, and he's like, "Yeah, you got electrical problems." And I'm like, "I don't think I do. Like, I think it was Rose." And he's like, "Nope. Your house is gonna burn down. You better get an electrician in." So I phone an electrician, knowing it was Rose. I phone an electrician. $500 later, he's like, "Yeah, no, because if there was a problem, you'd have like black marks for one on the ceiling. And he checked every outlet in the whole house. The electrical in my house is fine." But yeah, and then must have been a couple weeks after that, I was sitting thinking about my friend Rose again, and I have this curio cabinet in the corner that I've had sitting there probably for more than 5 years, and it's got lights in it, but I've never turned the lights on. And I'm sitting there thinking about Rose, and all of a sudden the lights come on by themselves in the corner. And I'm like, she's just letting me know that she's around.
Interesting. You have a theme of lights and
Yeah,
lights turning off and on.
I think lights are very easy for them. So I haven't really I've only seen the one spirit, the one ghost, which I believe was my mom, but I have had lights coming off and on. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I actually had that happen at the store once. I'd run in the store, and when I was leaving, I said, "Good night, Cornelius," and then the light came on. It just came on and went out for 1 or 2 seconds. I'm like, okay.
It's just waving goodbye.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, just
the
like,
best you can
okay,
do.
see ya. Yeah. But yeah, a few little things.
Would you say that you're a sensitive person to this type of?
I think I'm becoming more sensitive, but I never did for most of my life. And I always wanted to see a ghost, but I never did. And I kind of believed in it. Like, I was open to it. I can't say I really believed it one way or the other, but I was open to it until I saw my mom. Then I'm like, okay, definitely 100% real. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's one of those things for me. I have to, you believe people when they say they've seen them, but maybe not 100%. I had to see it to believe it. Now I'm like, yep. Yep, they're around us still.
I think setting it
put
up.
one there.
Oh, perfect.
And then the other one here, I guess.
Yep. And all we have to do is clear. Hang on, clear.
Is this the one from our house?
No, this is not. This is a different one. This is our ambient temperature sense. Our ambient temperature thermometer. We got one set on this side of the room. This one will be placed on the other. It tells us the 2 different temperatures, and we will know what is hot and what is cold for this room. We'll leave that, let it stew and level itself out, and then we can come back for the ghost hunt with the full-on laser camera. And if we catch anything cold, we can absolutely make sure with numbers that it is colder than the room.
Should we put... Oh, he's gone. I'm making an executive decision. Xbox Connect
All right, so the
camera.
Kinect camera senses it. So if you stand
I'll
in
let
front of
Daniel
it,
set
it'll
the
show
rest
you
up.
your skeleton. And the theory is that I'm really looking forward to check the audio stuff. Oh, that's them.
You should get a shot of this wall. The crystals. The crystals.
Sorry, what was that?
The crystals.
All right, so I am setting up the Kinect camera, and it is in fact an Xbox 360 Kinect. So the idea is that you can see skeletal figures when they disrupt the infrared grid that it emits. It also doubles very nicely as another full spectrum camera that we have at our disposal. So this is the Kinect on top of a tripod where I am running the software on a tablet here. If best case scenario happens, we capture a skeletal figure, and I mean that by digitally, a digital skeleton of a entity walking around. So I can show you what it looks like when a normal human walks around and what that digital skeleton looks like. But theory is that we capture something else.
Cool.
Let's just turn this slide off. And see if we got anything here. If you look at the screen, can you let me know if you can see my skeleton?
I absolutely can.
All right, so we got this going.
What next do you think?
Next, I think we're ready for the dark part. We can turn off the lights and ask some real questions, look around. Maybe something will come out when we're in the dark. Is this motion activated? I think this is.
Oh,
That-
I was so confused.
That okay.
It is, yeah.
That really freaked me out. Okay. We'll turn that off. We'll see if I can not have that happen again. I just got like super okay, so this is an automatic light.
Uh-huh.
I did not know that when I walked in here. A solid few seconds. Like, we got one. Okay, the automatic light is turned off. So I've heard that the upstairs is where most of the action happens, because that's where the footsteps go on. How would you tier the floors of activity and what's been seen?
There has been a few people that have seen spirits on the main floor, but I'm told from psychics that they seem to go upstairs when we have people in the store. They kind of go away when there's people, and I think they're down there when no one's there. I think they want to keep to themselves. So I think there is, I've heard the footsteps upstairs for sure, and they're loud, and you can't mistake them for anything else. There's definitely footsteps up there. But yeah, you go upstairs and it feels good up there. It doesn't feel heavy or negative. It feels positive. It doesn't bother me to go upstairs at all. But yeah, there's definitely someone hanging out up there. I don't mind going into the basement, but I've had many, many staff that refuse to go down there. I don't know why, but I mean, it's small. It's got the hot water tank, the furnace, some storage and that. Crawl space that might be a little creepy, but yeah, I've had many staff. I've asked them to go down and get me boxes. They're like, yeah, no. Yeah, so I don't know. So yeah, I mean, I think they're in the whole house. But I do think they go upstairs when we're open, when we have customers and that.
Okay.
Yeah, they just go stay by themselves.
Almost a middle ground. I heard from the stairs there's also a couple things going on.
I have heard from a couple of people that they've seen two little girls. I don't know how old they would be, maybe 6 or 7, in long dresses that run up and down and play on the stairs. So there might be a couple girls there too.
Just a full house at this point.
Yeah, they just, they're just hanging out. We only use the house for 7 hours a day, so I guess they get it for the rest of the time.
That's true.
Then we come in and they go upstairs.
It's not a bad trade-off.
Yeah, see, we figured it out. Everyone can be happy.
All right, so we are upstairs now We are told you're a little bit more active up here than you are down. If you would like to communicate anything with us, you can feel free to touch this antenna. I'll do it once as an example. Spirit who is here, are you a female? Right.
Are there any spirits up here with us?
We heard a bump from the attic. Was that anyone? Was that anyone who's able to communicate with us?
I wonder if we should move it away. Maybe they don't want to be so close to us.
Oh, that's me. It always gives me a bit of a scare when that goes off. All right, we moved it away. We've given you some personal space to work with here. If there are any spirits that are in this house, upstairs, downstairs, or basement that is willing to communicate with us, can you touch the antenna? Is there something specific you would like me to ask instead? Is there anyone here? Was that anyone here that made that thump? Can you thump again? No, neither. Okay. So we will be leaving the microphone. So we'll be leaving the microphone up here and we'll be leaving the Kinect infrared camera up here. So if anything happens to happen where those can pick it up, we're going to see it later. So, do you believe in any other ways we could possibly communicate with spirits?
No, because it wasn't something I ever planned. I never thought, but one day I just saw my mom. Like, I don't know, but I don't know why she was there. Like, that just happened. I didn't plan it. I wasn't expecting it. I was shocked. And then the lights, I think spirits can very easily turn lights off and on. And I think you can use that as a tool, I suppose, right? You could talk to them and get them to flick a light. Other than that, like, I didn't plan anything. These are just things that have happened to me. So,
Right.
but a lot of it does involve electricity and lights, right? Flicking the lights. So, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no experience. I have no training. I don't know anything
Right.
other than what I've experienced, firsthand. And that people have told me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair answer. It's something that just
I don't know. I
happens.
didn't plan it. Actually, when I saw my mom, we just drove down to Oliver to my mom's house, and it was 9:00 at night. It was dark out. I had my 12-year-old with me. I had my fifth wheel down there. I get to my trailer and I phone my sister Barb, the one that was banned from my mom's house, and the power goes out. I'm like, cripes. So I go in the house, I go down the stairs. My daughter's behind me. I go down the stairs, flick the breaker, go back up the stairs. Like, I was as shocked as anyone. I wasn't expecting, and I don't know why she was there, but yeah, really freaked my daughter out. But yeah, and I don't think you can plan. I can't plan for it. Maybe if you're a psychic or a medium, you could call them and that, but I don't know. It just something that happened to me. So yeah, I don't know how you'd plan
Okay.
that. I guess you could call them, right? Talk to them.
Yeah.
See if they respond.
Yeah. see if
they want
we
to
can
talk
get them
to you.
to flick a light. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like you almost always should have the medium there. They're the only reliable.
Because they can see and communicate. Because it's just something that just, you can't, for me, I didn't plan it, just happened. Right? Yeah. But I think if you're a medium, you could call them and communicate with them and see who's around.
Do you believe there's any way that it can all be explained with some reasonable explanation, or if there really is something that there's a mysterious force at play?
Yeah, I'm not sure. What I kind of understand is that we're all energy, and energy cannot ever die. Our body can die, but our energy, our soul cannot die. So we're here, and when our body dies, we're still here. But usually I think we move on to somewhere else. And some people I think just hang out here. They're not ready for whatever reason, or maybe they're waiting for somebody else. I don't know. Um, yeah.
There was a very interesting story that I heard in Banff on a ghost tour there, and there is the old trading post that still stands, and there was a ghost of a woman who would hang out under the bridge, which is nearby, and a ghost of a small child in the trading post. And there was a medium that was brought in, and he did both because they're
Yeah.
really like how many meters apart.
Yeah.
And he was communicating with both, and then one said like, "Oh, I'm looking for my daughter," and one was like, "Oh, I'm just here. I'm lost." And then he combined them, and he said that he managed to get them together. They embraced, and according to him, they just
That's a nice
went in
story.
light. So
Aw,
could
that's
be
very,
waiting.
yeah.
Okay, so upstairs, we have the audio recorder going. I'm bringing my own just in case, because right next to me will obviously be more sensitive than in the next room. I have the night vision camera, so you can see me, and a flashlight, so I can see everything else.
Great. Okay.
All right,
Good luck.
I'll be back. Or not. I need a ghost fanny pack. All right. Ghosts. It is just I and me alone. Gonna ask you a few questions, and here we go. Are there any members of the Corliss house here with me living upstairs? It is definitely quite a bit spookier in the dark. All right, well, I'm getting nothing. The light is on, and I'm going back downstairs. Let me just check this one more time. Yep, it's been on. You had your opportunity. Time's up.
Apparently they're not.
They don't want to talk to you.
No, I'm not.
It's not. I don't know what's going on.
Just
Well,
someone
there's
who
one
doesn't
more
know.
thing to try.
Yeah.
Downstairs.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about upstairs. I'm not looking forward to it because up here you got light. Like tons of it floods in from the windows.
Yeah.
But as soon as this goes off, it's going to be pitch black. All right, I am doing the solo question session in the basement. And just got to jump into it. I think that's the best way to go about. Get the flashlight on before I shut that door. Perfect. All right. Wish me luck. Hello. Which is I, Dirt Hole Man. I'm talking about me. Really hope there's no Dirt Hole Man. Oh, where to sit? Where to sit? All right, so we are set up for the basement session. All right, well, let's go. Lights are going off. Let's check the battery. Yeah, we should be good. All right. If there's anyone down here with me, please touch the antenna. Yeah, this one's really creepy. There is no light. It is pitch black in here. This one's not going to be as long. This one's going to be a lot shorter. Again, if there is anyone down here with me, please touch the antenna. Anyone from the Corliss house? All right, well, I'm going to call it there, folks. We are going back upstairs. So it was definitely creepy feeling down there. So it was pitch black. As soon as the light goes off, black. And I was definitely less inclined to ask questions because it's at the point where you're just like, oh, it's like if there's any point where I don't really want to talk to someone, this is the moment. So I was just almost dreading for the LED to go off on the REM pod, but nothing happened. And although I did cut it way shorter because I had no idea what that boom was, and I just went upstairs. So that's the basement, but it's also not where we're told the main interactions happen. So I'm not super surprised that nothing happened down there. All right, so that is the hunt of the Corliss house. We've done our best efforts. We brought our equipment. We're leaving a bit of equipment for the night to review in the morning. And overall, it was pretty good. We had some spooky spaces. I got to crawl in a dirt hole. Overall, I think it's been a success, but we'll review the footage and find out. In the future, how would you sum up your experience of being in that building?
I love that building. It has such good energy. I love being in there. It feels good to be in that building. I love the character of it. I love that house. It's beautiful. And yeah, it's been a very positive experience being there. Nothing scary. It's just, yeah, it's very positive, very happy. Lots of good times. We're always laughing in there. Like it's good energy.
Oh, that's good to
hear.
hear.
Yeah, no, it's a good building. I would stay there for a very long time.
Nice. There's no sinister, nothing like that
negative,
at all.
Nothing negative. All right. No, and we have a lot of business and it's been very positive and I think JJ Springer was there for 18 years and I think they did very well. They were there a long time and it was a very popular place to go. I know I did a lot of shopping there and it always felt good going in there. I think it's a good building.
Thank you again so much for coming in, letting us interview you, letting us into your business to do our ghost hunt. I am so looking forward to finding what we can record, get on camera, get on audio, anything.
My pleasure. And I can't wait. I'm so excited about the hunt and I hope someone communicates with us.